Let's learn about each president of the USA. It's not so tough to do. There's an easy way.
George Washington led the army for American independence, helped write the Constitution, and became the first president.
John Adams lived in the White House. He was the first one. He avoided war with France and lived to nearly 91.
With the Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson got a steal. Our new country almost doubled from this amazing deal.
James Madison got us through the War of 1812, alright, but the British burned the White House during that fight.
James Monroe's doctrine told Europe not to interfere with the independent nations of the Western Hemisphere.
John Q. Adams was a president and a president's son. Until George W. Bush, he had been the only one.
The Battle of New Orleans was Andrew Jackson's victory. People love this rugged fighter known as Old Hickory.
Martin Van Buren ran 3 presidential races, but he only won the first, so we got some new faces.
William Henry Harrison barely got started. After 1 month in office, he took ill and departed.
John Tyler stood ready when Harrison passed away. He was the first president to take office this way.
James K. Polk was a president with little time to rest, adding Texas to the Union and expanding in the West.
Zachary Taylor was a general during the war with Mexico. That made old Rough and Ready a national hero.
Millard Fillmore helped make the Compromise of 1850. It delayed the Civil War, but not everyone thought it nifty.
Bitterness between the North and South challenged Franklin Pierce with the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Emotions ran quite fierce.
James Buchanan watched the South secede from the nation. He refused to force them back. He felt he lacked authorization.
Abraham Lincoln was so great, leading us through the Civil War. He helped abolish slavery, heal the Union, and much more.
Fourscore-and-7 years ago, our forefathers learned from the past to shape their future.
Andrew Johnson fought with Congress after Lincoln's assassination. The House impeached him, but one Senate vote saved him.
As a general in the war, Ulysses Grant had success. And while he was president, he reduced the national debt.
Rutherford B. Hayes won a mighty close election. Then he worked hard to give our country new direction.
James A. Garfield might have been great, some have speculated, but after only 6 months he was assassinated.
Chester A. Arthur gave the White House a little more tact. He reformed public office with the Civil Service Act.
Grover Cleveland served 2 terms, but they were not in a row. He was the only one to do this. I thought you'd like to know.
Between the terms of Cleveland came Benjamin Harrison, the only president to be a president's grandson.
Under William McKinley, the Spanish-American War was fought. The Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico that brought.
Theodore Roosevelt took office after McKinley's assassination. He fought for business reform with great determination.
William H. Taft served as president. That's true, then became a Chief Justice to have something else to do.
Woodrow Wilson was president during World War I. He became quite ill before his second term was done.
Warren G. Harding chose men who were corrupt. He later died in office after scandals did erupt.
Calvin Coolidge was president during Prohibition time. The country had some gangsters who organized crime.
When Herbert Hoover was in office, the Depression was great. He really tried to fight it, but his efforts were too late.
Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected the most terms, that was 4. He rallied American forces in the Second World War.
The country was still at war when Harry Truman came along, but the war ended quickly after Truman dropped the bomb.
Dwight D. Eisenhower guided the Korean War to an end, and he helped the space age to begin.
John F. Kennedy was elected at the age of 43. That fateful date in Dallas cut short his presidency.
Lyndon B. Johnson fought for civil rights, but the war in Vietnam continued day and night.
Some thought Richard Nixon's foreign policy was great, but he had to resign because of Watergate.
Gerald Ford became president when Nixon went away. Ford decided to pardon Nixon without too much delay.
Jimmy Carter led the country during times of high inflation, but he worked hard with China to establish new relations.
Ronald Reagan was quite popular during his time, the oldest president elected at the age of 69.
George Bush led the nation in the Persian Gulf War. He also saw the breakup of the USSR.
Bill Clinton helped the economy get up and go while promoting free trade with Canada and Mexico.
George W. Bush took office in 2001, my friend. It was a mighty close election that we thought might never end.
So here we have the presidents, each of the 42. If you were elected president, I wonder what you'd do.